What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to tell you why Crypto is the most underrated legend in Apex Legends, and I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you might also think that. Hopefully, to encourage you to play him and to see what this legend does and how his tactical awareness can be so effective in a fight that most people do not understand. Now, obviously, I'm going to go through my 5 reasons. You may have your reasons of your own that you either like or dislike Crypto. That's what actually started this video. All right, moving on. So that's what started this video. Somebody actually went out and said that the Crypto is just so horrible. He sucks. You can't even consider him in high level. And this is responding to a tweet where I said Crypto's very close to being a high level competitive legend, played in all tiers of Apex Legends from the lowest to the highest in competitive that we'll see at major tournaments, and those are the ones that I cast and I'm involved in. So I wanted to just do a video talking about why I think he's so underrated and 5 things that he really brings to a team fight that you're going to see in this gameplay behind me. Now, leave a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you like my sneeze. Comment down below any thoughts you might have on Crypto, and of course subscribe to stay tuned for more on this channel, as well as check out the giveaway. I'm going to be doing a giveaway down below for anybody who enters into the Gleam link. So follow my Twitter, follow my Instagram, subscribe to YouTube if you guys want to be involved, and it's going to be giving away a $50 Amazon gift card like I've done before. Just want to get back to you guys because, you know, I love you guys. All right, let's get to it. Here we go. The first reason Crypto is criminally underrated, guys, is because of his active scouting. Now, I died to Crypto one way, just like this, where his drone was flying above me and I was trying to finish it off. Now, this is a big reason why Crypto is limited in highest of high levels of play, because his buff recently to make his drone from 1 damage to about 40 health, I believe, so that any shot pretty much with a wingman or anything above that high damage per bullet weapon will actually finish it off. For those who don't have perfect aim, this drone is not as easy to take down, and if you actively scout, then that is one of the reasons he can be extremely effective. Now, let me talk to you about what that means, because active scouting doesn't mean that you're not involved in this fight. What you're doing is you're sacrificing the ability to do damage, you're sacrificing the ability to actively be obviously on the front lines in order to provide your other 2 teammates, the team that would be pushing, the team that might be supporting that push, in order to get the information they need to dominate that fight while you're distracting the enemy with your drone. You're actively scouting, actively flying away, and I know how good it is because the other day I was literally trying to kill this drone. It just kept spotting where I was trying to heal. It kept going in and saying, oh, there he is healing. I'm like, oh my God, somebody's coming to get me, and I literally got distracted fighting this drone and trying to run away from it, stopping my heals, trying to get in the corner, and it allowed the team that I was fighting to actually sneak up and take me down. Do not underestimate active scouting and how much of a threat it becomes to the team that you're fighting. They start focusing on your drone, and the little things like giving your team a chance to heal when they're focusing on the drone on the enemy side, or giving your team a chance to push when they're looking at trying to finish off your drone, is a huge bonus that people do not use with Crypto. We'll talk about how that active scouting can become a wingman type scout, where it's not the weapon, but actually what a wingman is, you know, your buddy on the side helping you out accomplish a goal. This is something that we'll talk about in the 5th reason he is criminally underrated. Do not underestimate active scouting as Crypto. It can be a huge distraction and ultimately help your team find a nice opening. All right, now let's look at number 2, banner retrieval. Now, we all know in Apex Legends, Respawn, the name of the company, has been a big promoter of getting people's banners and respawning them so that they can join the team. They have penalties if you try to leave the game early, and so it's something they're really encouraging people to respect, and Crypto does it better than anybody else. Now, it's hard to understand exactly how important this is if you don't actually play Crypto, but the idea of a banner being lost is something that Crypto rarely ever has to think about. Somebody on your team actually can die, and even if he's dead and between a mile of you and just enemies, that drone can fly a secret route, grab that banner, and obviously give you a chance to respawn your team and have an advantage going into those final circles. This is huge when it comes down to competitive play. Just getting one teammate back, or maybe you're by yourself, getting that second teammate back, giving yourself a chance in that final circle could mean the very big difference, and there's no other legend who can come close to banner retrieving with the safety that Crypto provides. This is something we obviously overlook. We obviously think it's just a, hey, you know what? Hey, you can get the banner, whatever. You can fly through 5 teams and somehow revive our 3rd teammate. But that's a big deal. If he can actually get it done, that is a huge deal. It's one of the reasons he's criminally underrated. And honestly, I don't use it enough in my Crypto games. I wonder how you guys feel about that point. I think it's something a lot of people are missing. I honestly think it's very, very powerful. Okay, now let's talk about this other thing. The big thing, number 3, the EMP, the setup, and then the stuff people get wrong, the escape. Yeah, a lot of people only look at Crypto's EMP as just a big setup, right? They say, okay, this EMP is going to slow down enemies, it's going to take off half of their shields, and it's going to set up my team to be able to push on and take them down when they are not prepared. Now, obviously, there was a change back earlier in Season 3 to Season 4 where this no longer affects these shields. You can no longer take your shield off and have it not affect your shield, which used to be a really easy counterplay to it. One of the things I asked them to fix, and luckily that fix did end up coming in because I thought it was a buff he needed to be viable. Now they fixed it. You take 50 shield damage no matter what. You do get slowed, and the best part is in Season 4 now, you can combine it with things like Gibraltar Shield, and it won't destroy your friendly items, your friendly pylons, your friendly Gibraltar Shield, and it will allow your team to push completely unhindered onto a team that now has to heal or fight at a disadvantage. This is one of the biggest things that Crypto brings, and as you're watching a little bit of active scouting there, as I'm distracting while they're sniping my teammates over there, I'm providing a great opportunity to go ahead and try to follow up on some of these ults. Now, when you look at the ulting aspect of Crypto, it's obviously looked at as an aggressive thing. And this is where one of the biggest counter arguments that somebody on Twitter had talked to me about. He said, if you ult, by the time you get there and your team gets there, you have no opportunity to actually follow up on those kills. They've healed up with a battery, they've healed up with a shield cell. Is it really that simple? I mean, to be honest, I think that yes, okay, they can heal up by the time you can get it. But if you're using that active role and you're not needing Crypto in as that first party to be fighting, he can come in as a support, play with some long range, look at it more of like a backline legend that's supporting your teammate with scouting and with follow-up damage. And you can have your two teammates ready to push immediately, considering they're not going to take any shield damage from it or be slowed. I don't know what people are saying you can't follow up on this. I think it's a very easy thing to follow up on. In high-level competitive, the only issue is traversing ground where multiple teams are that you know you're not going to be able to push easily. But if you know you can push, it's very easy to follow up on. The thing that really surprised me about this, and I'm sticking a while, that most people don't know is you can use it to escape as well. And I was watching one of the Soar guys. Is it Soar Johnny? I don't know what it was. I was watching them stream, and not only did they demonstrate getting the banner in a situation that they should not have gotten the banner in, that really helped to change the game for them, but they escaped an entire team by throwing out their EMP and then basically waiting half a second before they pressed deploy the EMP and then ran out of the radius while the team that was following him was still in the EMP's radius, getting slowed, getting their shields taking off, and discouraging them from following up. And he was able to actually outwit that team and move away from them because of that EMP and the time it gave him to run away. And that proved vital. I mean, that could be a game. That could be 12 extra points in terms of a competitive game. These are things that I think people need to consider. Not only his ability to run away, but his ability to delay, initiate fights is legitimate on both sides of the coin with that EMP. All right, now 4, resource depletion. Let's talk about this. Now, this is kind of like the anti-Watson. This is one thing that I think is huge for Crypto. Most people don't talk about. Yes, that EMP may not be the easiest to follow up on in every situation. However, I do want to say that if you use that EMP and you use it correctly, you are automatically turning the tide of that fight towards your team's favor. Now, Watson constantly turns the tide towards your team's favor by giving you extra shielding constantly when you're near her pylon, so you don't have to use as many shield cells and batteries. But what Crypto is doing is saying, hey, I'm going to make you all 3 players use a total of 3 shield batteries or 6 shield cells to get exactly where you were at the start of this fight. That means when we actually start fighting, we should have an economy advantage over your team. And this is vital, especially in a poking battle. The only reason that this wouldn't work is because, of course, if you had a Watson on the other side, they could just wait for those resources to be okay, especially if you weren't able to destroy her pylon. But luckily, because she's an enemy, you would be able to do so. That would be unfortunate if they had an ultimate accelerant, they put another one out, but you guys get the drift. I think fighting with resource depletion is something that we don't often look at, but just as valuable as it is for Watson to give extra resources, it's just as valuable for Crypto to take those away. That's one of the reasons why I think he's actually just as valuable as a lot of these other legends and is criminally underrated as far as what he can do. I think people do not value that resource depletion as much as they should. Let me know what you guys think about that one in the comment section below. All right, let's take a look at the last one as well. And I want to start and preface this by, I'm going to finish this video talking about why, despite him being criminally underrated, he's still not played, and I understand. And what we need to change if he's going to get played in the highest level of competitive and be really respected throughout the entire community of Apex Legends. I want this for Crypto. I'm a big fan of Staycation. I want my boy Stay to get his legend at the top. He deserves it. So I'm trying to make it happen for him. All right, let's talk about the fifth thing that Crypto is so underrated at, and it's his mid-fight wingman, being the drone. Now, the drone, yes, is great for active scouting. Yes, it's great for an EMP. Yes, it's great for resource depletion, but it's also great mid-fight. And you can see it here in this footage. It showcases what you can do with a drone when you're in the middle of a fight, your team pushes, and people do not focus on the drone. Because why? Well, guess what? If there's a dude with an R99 in front of me and there's a drone in the sky, guess what I'm looking at? The dude in front of me. I'm not worried about the drone. And that drone acts as an active scouting wingman that gives you the ability to know exactly where that team is and know when they're peeking around corners, know where they're positioning to, know how many of them there are, know how many are downed, know what legend types they are, because you can see the outline of their hitboxes and clearly pick out that's a Pathfinder, oh, that's a Wraith, that's a Caustic. The information it gives you, especially in the middle of a fight, when you throw it up into an area where you can scout, then you rush into the fight, keep the pressure on them, you're constantly in an advantage, because the second they try to look up, try to finish your drone off, unless they have perfect aim, you're going to be able to finish them off while they're not looking at you. And this is one of the biggest underrated things that I've seen people not talk about with Crypto. This is a constant thing you can do with this legend. All right, now let's talk about why ultimately I think Crypto is not in the highest level of competitive and what his ultimate problem is. All these scouting things are great. I love the mid-fight wingman potential. I don't think people utilize it as much as they can, but my biggest problem with how Crypto is not being played and why I think he's unfortunately still underrated, but still it's true why he shouldn't be there, is because his drone is everything. If you destroy the drone, we talked about all these great things. If you destroy that drone, and say you're ace, say you have the most insane aim, and a lot of these pro players do, and high-level players do, that drone is done. I mean, 40 health, okay, they're all running wingmans and PKs and scouts. It's gonna be out of here. And until something like that changes to where you can't actively destroy the drone, I'm not saying give it 300 health, I'm saying make it so you can't one-shot the drone with such good aim and then be done. Make it so it's a nuisance. Then, unfortunately, when he loses it, all of his abilities become null and void. It's like, okay, it's just a dude running at me with a funky jacket and some glasses. You know what I mean? I mean, that's all he is. And so maybe the recharge on the drone when it gets destroyed. Maybe it's extra health to the drone when it gets destroyed. But the problem is he's too reliant on a drone that's too easily destroyed from the highest level of play. And this is a problem because highest level of play, they'll destroy it quickly. Me, I'm gonna miss shooting my wingman shots at that drone if it's actively controlled a lot. And that's the difference between what these high-level pros are using and why not. The other thing that makes him unfortunately criminally underrated, however still not played, is because other legends do it better than him. And I think when we talk about Wattson, it's the best comparison. All these other legends either recon better with Pathfinder, finding the next zone, and which is more important information as far as rotations. When Crypto's supposed to be a surveillance recon legend, he does a job that's more important than Crypto in Crypto's field where he specializes. And that's unfortunate because he also provides mobility. Wattson has a great thing where she's not taking away resources, she's giving them back with the pylon, and it's better than Crypto's quick depletion of those resources. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I feel that we'll either have to have an adjustment to Crypto and that drone, or we'll have to see some of those legends come down a bit for him to actually be featured in high level of competitive. But that doesn't mean that he's not a great legend, and it doesn't mean that he's not criminally underrated. Thanks so much for watching. Never give up, never stop gaming, and I'll see you all next time. Make sure to hit the link in the description below, join the giveaway. Take care.